Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be discussing my wrap-ups for this month, so any reads or watches that I've had this month. I don't have any anime or anything to talk about, so it's just going to be manga and other books. But yeah, that's going to be kind of the theme of today's video. This is actually future Celine here. I realized as I was going to edit this video, I was like watching the clips and I realized that I didn't have an intro because this video has been a whole mess, honestly. I thought I was recording and every time I was going to film a clip, I started realizing that I was taking photos instead of filming, so oh my gosh, it's just been a whole mess. I've had some like technical issues with my computer and such, so however this video comes out is how it's going to be presented. So I apologize if this video seems a bit more not as well thought out, or if I'm a little bit scatterbrained. So yeah, apologies for that, but I just need to get this video out there. But yeah, anyways, I will lead you into the rest of the planned portion of this video. Fair warning, this month was a month of reading completed series, so I did a lot of binge reading, so I will go ahead and get into the ones that are kind of more singular, I guess. This is The Breaker Volume 1. This is a very action-packed series with a bit of comedy. One thing that I really like about this is I feel that the author did a really good job on mixing, the heavier themes of, action, and there's violence and just, harder topics to cover, like such as bullying and things, and just heavy topics like that, but while mixing in some comedic relief in a tasteful way, not where it's trying to, I guess, make fun of any of those hard topics, but it's just done really, really well, the story writing so far. So yeah, this one is about this guy in high school and he is bullied, and this guy here, he is a gang member and he is in hiding because another clan is after him for killing their boss, so he is kind of taking on this role of being a teacher. And so the kid ends up finding out that he's, good at fighting, and so he asks him to take him under his wing to teach him how to fight and defend himself. So you kind of see them starting to get closer and form like a teacher-student, or more like, like sensei and student relationship, like camaraderie almost. So yeah, this one is pretty interesting. I really look forward to continuing this one. But yeah, that's that one. This next series has a lot of potential to be a favorite. This is Something's Wrong with Us, and I read volumes 2 through 4. This has been so good. I cannot rave about this enough. This is a mystery. It's also got romance and drama, and the characters are all amazing. These two are amazing, and then there are just characters that you just love to hate in this series. There's just so many characters that you just hate them. They just boil your blood. But like her, for instance, this is his mom. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I won't, try and give too much of, any spoilers. But this is an interesting one. I'm not exactly sure how to describe their relationship. It is not, they don't seem to particularly like each other. Like there's a lot of tension between them, but as the story continues, you kind of get to see them realizing that, they might actually have romantic feelings for each other. But there's a lot of tension between them, just because of all of the drama within his family. So they do have a past, but he doesn't remember her from his childhood at all, but they were very close. But what ended up, bringing them apart was his dad was murdered, and he, I guess, accuses her mom of the murder. So she kind of goes and agrees to marry him, but she has, this motive of she wants to get revenge on him and take over his family's business. So both of them are not very, what do I say? Their motives aren't the best, but you understand them and you feel for both of them. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one down because I will go on forever about how much I love this one. But yeah, that one has very, very high potential to be a favorite series. So I'm probably going to wait until I pick up the rest of the series, because the cliffhangers that this leaves you on are just insane. So let's see if I can be patient enough. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning for that one, is just to pick up the rest of the volumes and then binge the next half of it. But this next one is Fruits Basket Another. I have been waiting for a while to read this, so I was so excited to finally get to. This is a 4-volume series. It is a spin-off. Is it a spin-off? Is this what you would call a spin-off? I think so. Series. It's a spin-off series of the original Fruits Basket series, so it follows the next generation of the Soma family. So it's very interesting to get to, kind of piece together who is whose child, and just see the mangaka does kind of rehash some of the events from the main Fruits Basket series. So that was really fun to see. And in the beginning here, you're kind of reintroduced to a couple of the characters from the original series. If you can recognize him, let me know. Him too. But yeah, this one was a fun read. Admittedly, it wasn't amazing, like I wasn't blown away, but I still thought it was really, really cute. So I do plan on keeping this, and I look forward to rereading this after I do a reread of Fruits Basket at some point. So yeah, this one was a fun, pretty quick read. This next series is a trilogy, and this is a manhwa series. Oops, I kind of have this out of order. But this is I'm not sure what to call this trilogy actually, because it doesn't really have, all 3 of the books kind of have a different title. So I'll just kind of go by each of the books individually. So in this story, you get to follow this girl here, and you see her through her childhood. So this book, you see some of her childhood years, and then in this second book, some of her teenage years, and then in this one, it kind of leaks over some of her teenage years, and then you get to see her get married. So it's very fun. It is a slower paced read. Like, there's not a lot of plot is not the word, because there definitely is a plot, but it's just a slower paced story. This one, I feel like you really get a sense of just her life, not everything in life is like super eventful, I guess I'll say. But it was a really relaxing read, and I got pretty attached to the characters. You follow her and her mom. The dad passed away when she was little, so you just see the story of a mother and daughter just trying to go through life, and the mom trying to provide for her and make sure she, even without a father in her life, to make sure she grows up well, and she's really willing to do anything for her daughter. So it's a really sweet story. It's described as a sweeping trilogy of first love and second chances. So yeah, a great story, great coming of age story. I liked the setting. It's set sometime in the past. I cannot remember when it was set, but it is in a smaller village in Korea. So I really like the setting and getting to see all the, let me show you the art actually, I haven't showed you. Let me see if I find a page here with good art. There we go. I mean, the entire book has good art, but I just wanted to show you a good spread here. But yeah, this one was a fun, relaxing one, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, this next series is the last series and last manga that I have to talk about. This one was pretty chunky actually. Let me see if I can even hold all of this up. I'll just bring up one by one because this is a 6-volume series. This is Summertime Rendering. This is volume 1 here. I brought all the books out because the covers on these are so pretty. But this one was my first horror manga series. So at first I was a bit scared to even start it because I am not a horror fan. I don't like being scared. I just don't find any enjoyment in that personally. But this was, wow, it was a great series. So you follow him. He's the main character. His name is Shinpei, and he is from this island in Japan, and he moves to Tokyo to go to school, and he ends up coming back to this island because his childhood friend and kind of sister passed away. So he comes back home for the funeral, and just a lot of really weird things end up happening. There's a thing called shadow sickness, where if you see someone who looks exactly like you, then that shadow is going to come after you and kill you. So it's just it's disturbing, and it's scary. This first one was actually not, it's horrifying. I'm not going to flip too much because towards the end here it gets very it's violent. I will say that it's very gory, so if that's not something you can handle, I wouldn't recommend that one. And it is rated just says for mature readers, so yeah, it's just very, very gruesome. This is volume 2 here. Gorgeous. This is my favorite character on the cover here. I'm not gonna have enough room for all of this, so I'll just put these on the side moving forward. This is volume 3. I love the art style in this. I cannot wait to watch the anime for this. Oops, sorry. I plan to watch it maybe in March. I'm not sure. I'm kind of deciding. I'm finishing up an anime, and then I'm trying to decide what I start watching next. This is volume 5. The covers are gorgeous, and this is the last volume. This one is pretty chunky, so I read this pretty much spanning throughout the entire month of February, so this one pretty much took up my entire month, but it was so worth it. And I was really hoping that this ended well and came to a pretty good conclusion. It's it's heartbreaking, and it's scary, it's thrilling, and I just can't have enough good words for the series. It's just, I really do recommend it if it's something that you can handle. The goriness wise, that didn't make sense. Okay, anyways, that is all of the manga that I have to talk about. So I will go ahead and talk about the graphic novel that I read. Okay, so this is the graphic novel. This is Snow Glass Apples, and this is it's a Snow White retelling with a horror twist. So this one I would say is also rated mature, just because of the darker themes and adult themes as well. So I think this gives some sort of, it gives a little bit of a synopsis here, so if you want to read that. This was really interesting. It was really it was a relaxing read. Even though the premise is not very relaxing, just the art in this was, so stunning to look at, and it was a rainy night when I read this, so it was very, it fit the feeling and setting of the story, so I really did enjoy this, even though it was pretty intense. But let me show you this last page. So this one is it takes a turn where Snow White is the villain in this story. She isn't the stepmother ends up becoming more of the not necessarily good character in this. I mean, she's still not the greatest, but she's not downright evil like she is in the traditional Snow White story. So again, very, very interesting twist to the story, so I really did enjoy this. This is the last page here. This is Snow White, so you can see she has a very eerie look to her. It's kind of a vampire twist on Snow White, I will say. But this next one is a novel, so I cannot wait to get into this one. So this last book that I have to talk about is the one novel that I read this month, and I talked about it in my haul. This is Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. I got this in my book of the month subscription for this month. So I am tabbing my books, so if you can see here, there's a good amount of tabs in there. This story, oof, sorry for the background noise. Oh my gosh. Okay, here is again, the synopsis if you want to pause and read it. This was a very heavy story. I mean, it's a crime mystery, so it is, I think it's described as courtroom thriller. Yes, so it's pretty much set in the courtroom, so you get to see all of the the witnesses testifying in the trial, and it's just, you're trying to piece together who really committed the crime, but there's not necessarily just one person who did it. I will go ahead and say that, and I feel like you kind of get a sense for that in the synopsis, so I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. But it's just a very, very heartbreaking story. It is surrounding, characters with special needs as well, so it's a very, very impactful story, and it really, I mean, it impacted me with so many heartbreaking emotions, and you just feel for several characters in this novel. And I am planning on doing a book review on this, so I don't want to go too much into it, because I do want to make a dedicated video on this if you guys would be interested at all in that. So that's all I'll say for now, but I do highly recommend this. It's great, but it's heartbreaking and just thrilling. It's suspenseful. A great novel, and I can't believe it was her debut novel. This felt like something so well put together, and you can just see all the time and thinking that she put into this. So great novel. So this is an overview of everything I read this month. The rest of Summertime Rendering is right over here. But yeah, I will say this is a pretty heavy reading month for me. I was actually surprised with myself how much I read this month. So next month is probably not going to be as dense, because I feel like I've been spending all my free time reading, which is not bad. I love reading. So, but yeah, there's some pretty good things on March's TBR. So I look forward to reading all of those, and I hope you guys look forward to hearing my thoughts on those. But yeah, let me know if you read any of these as well this month, or plan to in going into March. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for spending some of your time with me and are having a great day. So yeah, bye guys.